Well, here's what I would say, and I've said it for months, and I'll probably be wrong because I'm always wrong. But money cures it all. You know, we were in a situation totally different, but we were in a situation early in our career. Well, frankly, the company promised us benefits, and then they didn't. Now, it was a local thing. It had to do with local people that were in charge of the company at the time. But they basically lied to us and said that the contract, don't worry, well, you guys will get benefits and everything. And then we signed the contract without quite understanding the details of it. And they pointed out to us that, in fact, we weren't full-time employees. We were contract employees. We actually didn't qualify for the benefit. That's enough to burn you and make you never want to work for that company again, believe me.
Right.
But yet, we stay with the company because they keep giving you more and more money, and money can cure those
But he has other options.
injustices.
We
didn't have other options that he has, per se.
Yeah.
But money still ultimately, we could have gone to another radio station, I'm sure. But they didn't have it thrown in our face maybe the way Kirk did. But I do believe that money can cure the disrespect. But they have to come correct with the money. If they don't come correct with the money, then 1,000% he's
all of a
leaving.
sudden they would do a 180 and just offer him a lavish deal.
Because the alternative is poop.
Well, they've been reluctant to do it even with him proving himself over the last 40-plus games. Apparently, it's still not enough.
Because I think he's better than they thought. I think he's better every year. Keeps proving he's better than they thought.
I think it comes back to Dan Snyder doesn't want to admit to making mistakes, and they know they made a mistake by not signing him to a team-friendly deal a few years ago.
But why even say that to anybody?
Because
you need
bizarre people.
5 games.
They're bizarre people.
I mean, that's just a stupid thing. It's just incompetence.
Because they run the franchise in a haphazard fashion. It's why they're concerned about. It's why Bruce Allen is concerned about wearing the color rush uniforms on Thursday night. Don't you have bigger things to worry about than wearing ugly uniforms for one night out of 16
They are pretty
in a season? Okay, they're ugly, fine, but it's something the league is dictating. Just do it. Worry about it. Create a big story
And they kind
of
of
it.
hold each other hostage, as we've talked about for months, because the Skins can franchise him once again, which I think would be crazy and insane.
But he would love it. He would love it
for $34 million.
$34+ million deal.
But he holds them hostage as well because he can turn down any long-term offer and just say, if you want me, I'll play for $34 million.
Right.
And then force your hand again in a year. So, but again, with the article, I mean, that's just, like you said, speculation.
It's just his speculation.
And you may be right, but he points out that Kirk kind of made some negative comments about the field recently. He's made comments about
Kirk is honest.
having to watch me for 5 more games.
I think Kirk is honest.
He's just feeling the frustration. But you're right. Money sometimes can change the opinion. The problem is, I think he was offered a ton of money this year. And you could say, well, it wasn't enough. But
no, see, Kirk is just, and his agent are just ahead of the curve, and the Redskins are behind the curve on it. They saw the leverage that they had and where they could go if he continued to play well. The Redskins didn't see it. They kept offering him deals that were cool and good 2, 3, 4 years ago. Kirk and his team are just way ahead of the Redskins. The Redskins are way behind the times.
They still view him as you should be happy to take this below market deal because you were an afterthought to us.
Correct.
But somehow you've ascended to the level
You've
of play.
gamed the system a little bit.
Yeah, somehow he's
and they're just not giving him the respect. But
I give him credit for that.
Yeah, he's just way ahead of them. The only other thing I would say on Boswell, and I'm a fan of Thomas Boswell. I've read the Washington Post my entire life. He's just like, sure. And I think it was in 2008 he wrote this big article about why Joe Gibbs was going to return, and the next day retired. I mean, this big, convincing article about why Joe Gibbs was going to continue as coach of the Redskins, and the very next. The print wasn't dry on the article, and Joe Gibbs announced his retirement.
Yeah, he picks losers
he's
too.
Certainly
just like
not
everyone
infallible.
He's just like us.
And this is
he's
not
just giving you his opinion.
This is not a sourced article. It's just him reading the tea leaves. He's a columnist.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
He's kind of delving into psychology in this article too. You don't know what's going on in Cousins' head. You don't know what's going on in the owner's head. For example, this line: the Redskins see Cousins and think of Shanahan smirking with vindication on both Kirk and RG3. That's bigger than any foam finger.
Well, he's kind of right. You think it doesn't boil Snyder's blood that RG3 didn't work out? He was desperate for that to work out.
Yeah, but do you think this decision is deep-rooted in the psychology that they're not going to give a long-term deal to Kirk because in some way it vindicates Shanahan, who was a fan of drafts?
I think some of it.
There could be
so
some of
many
that
years
lingering
removed
there.
from that.
Just like there are fans in town that don't like Kirk because it all went bad with RG3. I think it's just egos. Egos.
I think there's
egos
some of
in
that,
play. And it's on both sides, too. There's egos on Kirk's side, too.
Of course. But I just think the biggest thing is, and this plays most into Cakes' argument, is that since Bruce Allen has been here, his whole mission has sort of been to keep prices low, to manage the expenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're hemorrhaging fans. I've never seen the organization this low. It's unbelievable
Because
to me.
at the end of the day, this is what I said yesterday, at the end of the day, what do NFL owners want?
Well, no, of course they want
a profitable business.
money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Most of them. I think some of them would lose money at a pretty large rate to win championships. I don't necessarily think Snyder knows how to win. I think he'd like to do both.
I think
No,
that's
but he
pretty
doesn't know
clear
how to
over
win.
the
Nobody knows how to
years.
make money.
I think he does. Most of his businesses have been a failure. This is the only one that's been a success as far as we know.
This is plenty. This is a good one.
This is a good one.
He's
He
stuck
luck
on
boxed
into a
This
good
outweighs
one.
the other 10 that
He
didn't
luck
work.
boxed into this one.